Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you my top 5 ways to use the Boss OC-5. Let's check it out. So let's quickly cover the features of the pedal then. I'm not going to go too in depth here because this pedal's been out for a while. There are loads of other videos on YouTube covering this. But you've got a vintage and a poly mode. In vintage mode you've got +1 octave, down 1 octave and down 2 octaves. And it is monophonic, so you can't really play chords with it. In poly mode, you've got that same +1 octave and a down 1 octave, but this time the down 2 octave knob becomes a range knob. That range knob controls how many of your strings, if you like, are kind of affected by the octave sound, and at its absolute lowest setting, you'll only get the lowest note in the chordal sequence that you're playing coming through with the octave effect. In poly mode, it is fully polyphonic as well, so it works with chords. You also have a direct out as well on the pedal, so you can send your direct signal out to the rest of your board and maybe route the affected signal out to a bass amp or something like that. Before we check out those sounds, if you are enjoying the video and you like the content on the channel, do consider subscribing and liking the video. It really does help out. Cheers. So my first sound then is really good for kind of riffs with a slightly distorted, overdriven guitar. So we're in vintage mode. Now that's not going to be great for chords, but it does work really well for riffs. So I've got a direct level about halfway. I've got the +1 octave all the way off, down 1 octave about halfway, and the down 2 octaves all the way off as well. So yeah, check that one out. So for sound 2 then, we're actually using fairly similar settings, only we're switching across to the poly mode. So again, direct level's about halfway, +1 octave is off completely, down 1 octave is about halfway, and this time we're using that range knob on the lowest setting, so it's only going to play the octave sound with the lowest note in a sequence or chord. And I'm going to use that to play some kind of melodic, really sparse sounding guitar part. And it'll just add in the bass to that guitar part and fill out the sound a little bit. So check it out. So for sound number 3 then, we're staying in poly mode and we're going to add in the +1 octave about halfway, keep the -1 octave where it is and keep the direct level where it is, and we're also going to bring in some down 2 octave and we should get some really cool organ-like sounds. Let's check it out. So for sound number 4 then, we're staying in poly mode again and we're going to use it to add some low end beef to some chords, some overdriven chords. We're going to keep the direct level about halfway, we're going to take the +1 octave level all the way off, down 1 octave again about halfway, and then we're going to use the range knob again at the minimum, at the lowest setting. So it's only adding the octave effect again to the lowest note. Let's check it out. So sound number 5 then is my favourite way to use this pedal. I'm going to put my current favourite fuzz pedal, the Beatronics Vespa, which you can check out in this video up here. I'm going to put that after the OC-5, and then I'm going to set the direct level again halfway. We're going to move back over to vintage mode. I'm going to leave the +1 octave completely off, down 1 octave about halfway, and again we're just going to turn the down 2 octaves all the way off. So yeah, let's check that one out. So just wrapping up quickly then, I think this is a really versatile pedal. It's really affordable as well. It's about £135 or in the UK, which is, you know, pretty competitive when you look at some of the competition on the market from Electro Harmonics and what have you. The tracking on it is great, really low latency, and of course it's got, you know, tons of features for an Octave pedal. Well, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, thanks so much for watching. And again, if you are enjoying the content on the channel, do consider subscribing. If you want to check out any of my other videos, I recently put out a video on my Gretsch Electromatic. You can check that out up here. And if you want to look at another pedal video, we talked about that Vespa fuzz. You can check that one out here. Well, that about wraps things up for the Boss OC-5. Thanks again, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.